Hey, Mama, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to week 4 of our Declutter Your Life series. And today we're continuing this week's theme of decluttering your digital space with my 2-part conversation with digital organizer expert Shawn Lemon. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, go ahead, hit that pause button, start there first, because part 1 is where we tackled email clutter, setting up systems to finally take control of your inbox, and how small changes like automating and filtering can really make a huge impact on your productivity. But if you're all caught up, today we're taking it one step further. We're diving into the clutter living on your computer, that overflowing downloads folder, that mystery file saved somewhere you can never find, and those endless desktop items that make you feel like you're searching for buried treasure every time you need to find a document. Shawn is going to walk us through exactly how to organize your digital files, how to set up an easy to maintain system, and even go paperless so you can finally clear out all that paper clutter once and for all. Plus, we're going to talk about digital security, shared family systems, and some simple ways to keep everything organized long term, because we're all about creating systems that help you maintain your life. So let's dive in, because this is the episode that's going to help you finally clean up your digital files once and for all. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work, time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, a mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being so intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first, because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. Back with us today is Shawn Lemon. He is the founder of The Digital Organizer and has spent the last 17 years helping individuals and businesses get better at using their technology. He's a teacher at heart and believes that the biggest reason people struggle with their tech is because of the lack of understanding of the tools, which isn't surprising because they're constantly changing as technology advances. When not helping homes and businesses operate more efficiently, Shawn loves making pottery, riding motorcycles, and spending time with his wife, Madeline, and their 2-year-old son, Nico. We're jumping right back into where we left off yesterday. So, talk to me about decluttering your computers, because I know between my downloads and opening files and saving them, and I don't even know where they're saved.
hmm
What's the best way to start decluttering?
Yeah. The best way is to pick a system and consolidate everything to it and shut down the rest. So, for example, I use Google Drive for my main folder structure and everything that I save. I have got one place for all of my personal files, and then there's another place for all of my business files. Now, I also have Dropbox and OneDrive and Box and ShareFile and all of these other cloud services, but I treat those like a mailbox. I don't organize mail in the mailbox. If someone's going to deliver files to me via Dropbox, I'm going to download them and put them in Google Drive immediately. So I need to have a good folder structure for my primary filing cabinet, digital filing cabinet, so I can always download something, whether it's delivered to me via email, Dropbox, Slack, WhatsApp, it doesn't matter. If you give it to me, I know where it goes. So consolidate everything so you have that dedicated spot. And then do things like in Chrome, you can say, instead of downloading to my downloads folder, ask me where to put that file. So you can just put it right where it needs to go the first place. I never have to clean up my downloads folder because nothing goes there. I have to organize it immediately when I download the file. So now I really don't have to do very much organization. It's just part of the workflow.
And how do you set that up? Is that something you go into settings
Yeah,
and do?
yeah. So I think it's a view and then options on Windows or on Mac. It's go to the Chrome menu or Safari menu and go to preferences or settings, depending on what operating system you're on. And it's just part of downloads. And there is a section of what do I do when downloading a file, and the default is to save to downloads. And we want to change that to say, ask me where to save. So many people have ADHD these days. I just found out that I do. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder I've had so much issue with certain administrative things and why I have clung to systems because it's the only way that I can get things done. So, but that means that I do not have very much patience for organizing my own stuff regularly. I am great with a project. Get a project, take it to if it's small enough, take it to completion and then move on to the next thing, but don't ask me to maintain it. So that's why I just think it's so critical for most people to just figure out how you want it to work in the first place and then allow it to just be the path of least resistance so that when I download, I never have to organize later again. That's the type of thing that we're always trying to set up.
That's awesome. I feel like I have so much work to do. So, how do your services work if someone wanted to reach out and said, "Help, I'm at that point."
Yeah, yeah. So we have a couple different ways. I created a resource library. So it's the core principles that in material that we take our clients through and teach people how to do it. So if you want to self-implement, you can do that. And that's our resource library. I'll give you a nice big discount to that when you sign up for the resource, that free resource. But then if you want to schedule a call with me to see if it'd be worth working with us, then you just set up a call. And what we do is after we figure out it's a good fit, we work with our clients monthly. There's no minimum. It's easy to cancel whenever you've gotten what you need, but we want to give unlimited access to our coaches so that when you got time, you can go hard, and if it's busy one week, you can slack off a little bit and do your other work and come back to it. But we do these 90-minute deep dive sessions where we get in there and say, "What is all this? Why is it here? What's working and what's not?" And get a game plan together of how we're going to tackle that. And then and then we tell you, here's the process. And let's start with the first milestone. And now let's do it together. And we do it over screen sharing on Zoom. You don't give me unattended access to your stuff. We don't create a system for you because it's our system. It's not yours. We need to co-create something together. So we do that through that 90-minute session. And then we have 30-minute sessions to help keep you going. So that's accountability, or I finished this milestone, tell me what the next one is, or I ran into this problem. How do I tackle this? Because this falls out of what we've talked about so far. That way we can just keep you going through the process. Most clients work with us 2, 3 months maybe.
So then how do you scan the documents to get them onto the computer? Like, anytime I scan, I use, like, the Notes app and I send it through email, and is that the
Yeah.
best way, or is there, like, a better way to be doing it?
Oh, totally. The easiest thing is if you have an Apple or if you have a Mac and an iPhone, you can actually right click on the folder that you want that scan to go to. And there's an option that says import from, and you just pick your iPhone and it opens up the camera app. And you just take the picture of the document and it saves it right into the folder you want it to go to. And then you just rename it. So that's an extremely easy way to do it. If you don't have that, then using an app called Scannable would be great. And then you can send it to your Dropbox, Google Drive, iCloud, whatever platform you chose to house your main folder system. You can just save it right there through the Scannable app. So that is my favorite, but I never use it anymore because I'm all Apple.
Ah, you're making me want an Apple, but they're just so expensive, and I've only ever worked
Windows.
on yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
But,
even.
I mean, while that's really nice, it's just as easy to use the Scannable app. It does a little bit better job actually with the scans. You rename it right from there and then save it to the correct spot. So, it's just a few more steps to get it where you want it to go. But that's what I do. If I get a piece of mail, say if someone mails me a 1099 and they don't email it to me, I'm just gonna scan it, put it in my, financial folder under, 1099s and rename it what it's supposed to be. So year, the type of form, and then who sent it to me.
And then the hard copy, you just shred?
Throw it away.
And, like, I have so much paper clutter that I can't wait to go through and just get rid of. That's awesome.
Yeah. So in that case, you batch it. So for the paper stuff, pull it all out, separate it into little files to figure out, okay, so this is health records that I want to scan. These are vehicle records. These are insurance documents, tax documents, kind of create your little piles. And then you can use the Scannable app and just start snapping them. And if you've got a document that has multiple pages, it can just scan all 4 pages. You name the file, move on to the next one, and then export them all to your Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever. And that way you can organize them really quickly, get it all digitized and in the right spot.
That sounds like an excellent project for my kids.
There you go.
You're
Yeah.
like, "You want some extra money? Here's a pile. Start scanning."
Perfect.
So I know you just gave us a lot of hacks and a lot of suggestions, but any other digital life hacks, words of wisdom you can share with us?
Yeah. So I would say clarity is key, especially when you're working with other people and trying to get buy-in from everyone else. So, talk to other people in your family about creating some shared resources if that's important for you to have. And then, talk about what you want in it and sit down and set it up. Do it as a project. This isn't something that you just a quick hack, and then all of a sudden you're in and up and running and everything's organized. Like, you really want to sit down and think through it. And once you do that, then it makes all the difference. You just set up that folder structure, make sure it's shared with the appropriate people. They've got access to it. Both of you have the Google Drive app installed on your computer or Dropbox so that it's easy and everyone knows exactly where it's supposed to go and how we're supposed to do it. And then it just fades to the background. The tech fades to the background and it just becomes part of your life.
So now, do you do this with like your credit card statements or your, bank statements? Because there's some things that I still get paper copies of because I
Mhm.
found you can only go back so far in their systems. So,
Right.
I always have it in my head. You have to keep stuff for 7 years, certain things for 7 years. And I actually have the paper files in
Yeah.
my closet, three huge containers of it that I would love to get that space back. I'm on a
Yeah.
huge declutter kick. So, what do you do with those?
Scan them in, name them well, and have a good little archive system for it. So your statements, if you are someone that likes to review all of those statements, you save it in your statements folder, just at the top level. And then once you reviewed it, then you move it into reviewed or processed or archive or whatever to just keep the system really focused so that you just don't have a ton of clutter. It's just very simple. This is where I save it right at the top level. And then once you're done with it, you move it out of there. So visually, it's all cleared up and nice and easy. And if you've got a lot of stuff, then it's probably worth getting a nice scanner, so a document feeder scanner, and that way you can again group them together first, grab all, pull all those statements together, and then scan them all in, and then you can name them individually as you want, or name them all, or create a larger PDF of all of 2023, all of 2024. If you don't want to break them up into individual months, make it a little bit easier on yourself. So, yeah, that would be my approach to it.
I think it's definitely worth the investment in a scanner now that I'm thinking about it to get that real
Hmm.
estate back in my in
Yep,
my closet. It's literally
totally.
4 big containers. Wow. So, personal question,
Hmm.
what is your favorite time management tool that you use since we are all about time management?
Well, I use Asana as the app where I keep track of all of my tasks and projects and doing that as a team. It was really hard to adopt as I'd like to fly by the seat of my pants, but when working with a team, that doesn't really fly. So that's a big one. And then I use time blocking. So big part of my day is, or really week, is creating themes for what I do on different days. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are my biggest like meeting days when I'm talking on podcasts or sales calls, Mondays and admin. So I try and create themes for myself so that I'm not totally locked into the time blocking, but I still have time blocked off in those days for specific types of activities. And then I like to pair that with Michael Hyatt's full focus system and use the big three for the day so that I can say, if I get these things done, it's been a good day because as a business owner, you never get everything done. There's always something else you can do.
I was gonna ask you if you were also a paper planner type person since you are so digital. So you use a full focus planner?
Sometimes. So I use the system. I have a little bit of perfectionistic tendencies. So if I get busy and I'm actually really on top of digital and I'm not feeling digitally overwhelmed, because that happens to all of us when a lot is happening at once, then I'll use paper to anchor myself. But if I have blank spaces in a journal, it drives me nuts and it's all like time based. So it just messes with my head.
So, it's funny you say that because I like to consider myself a recovering perfectionist, but I just did a whole episode on how to use a paper planner because it's really shocking when I talk to people that they're like, I buy this planner and I don't know how to fill it out. And I've just always used some form of planner. And I tell people if you're starting out, don't get an hourly planner because you're just going to be so overwhelmed. And if you're a perfectionist, seeing all
Yeah.
that blank space, you're like, I need to fill it with something. And if it's empty,
Mhm.
it actually makes you less productive. So I totally feel you. And I do use that, top three approach every day. I use a Clever Fox planner. I have looked at the full
Okay.
focus and
Uh-huh.
I love the concept of it, but the idea of having one per quarter, I need one for a full year. I need to be able to see my whole year mapped
Uh-huh.
out. But I
They
think
have
I'm
those
getting
pages at the beginning. So there's a yearly, there's like monthly pages, there's like a spot for your goals, but then you do have to transfer some of that stuff from one journal to the other. So I see where that is. Another system that's great, paper one for people who are just getting started with using paper or planner type thing would be Samantha Lane's Origami Day. I think she's about to go through a rebrand, but if you go to origamiday.com, then it'll probably just redirect to whatever she ends up rebranding to. But it's a very simple system to just anchor yourself, get things done. And she does a great job really simplifying things and giving people permission to work on less and be a little more focused.
love it. I'm going to check her out because I'm always in the market for a better planner. So is there any other words of wisdom or any other insight tips you want to share?
I think we've hit a lot, and the anchoring point is that download. It's just thedigitalorganizer.com/career life, and it'll give you a great framework. If you get that, you love it, and you want to go further, I've got another guide that's the file organization guide. Just reply to any of the emails that get sent to you and say, "Hey, can I get that file organization guide too?" And I'll send that over to you. And that's got videos attached to it, so you can click on those and bring up videos to really explain some of these concepts more in depth. But I think at this point, it's go take some action, dedicate some time to do it, decide you're going to get it done. And there are people who are ready to help and to give you free resources, and you can pay us too to get you to the finish line.
I love it. Buy your time back. So where can we find you? I know you gave us the link to the freebie, but if they just want to check out your website.
If you just want to go to the website, thedigitalorganizer.com, pretty easy.
Awesome. Nice and simple, just the way I like it. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I've learned so much. I need to get my kids to work because,
There you go.
and especially if I get a scanner, they love playing with things. So I'll make it even easier for them. But thanks so
Perfect.
much for all your insight. I can't wait to get digitally organized.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Carrie.
What a great conversation. I hope you learned as much as I did in this two-part series and that it's really giving you the push you need to finally tackle the digital clutter and set up systems that save you time, reduce stress, and make your life so much easier. And this is something that you could be doing with your partner as well. Don't take on this project by yourself. We covered a ton from organizing your inbox and managing your emails more efficiently to setting up a digital filing system that actually works and even going paperless to clear out that paper clutter once and for all, because we all know we have a pile of paper that just need to go. The key takeaway, getting organized digitally isn't just about clearing space. It's about reclaiming your time and energy so you can focus on what truly matters. Now, I know it can feel overwhelming to get started, but you don't have to do it alone. Shawn has an amazing freebie to walk you through the process step by step, so make sure you grab his household organizational guide to start streamlining your digital files today. The link is in the show notes. And while you're at it, don't forget to grab my Boundaries Made Simple guide because let's be real, if you don't set those clear boundaries around your time, digital clutter isn't the only thing that's going to pile up. This free guide will help you protect your time without the guilt so you can finally focus on the things that matter. The link is waiting for you in the show notes as well. Thank you so much for showing up today. And if you found this series helpful, share it with a friend who could use a little digital decluttering in their life too. And don't forget to hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.